This program contains scenes of violence and coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
During the summer of 2012, fans got their chance to get up close and personal with their favorite UFC fighters as they prepared for UFC 149. As its first time on Calgary soil, fans flocked to the event hours before its opening. But of course, without fans like these, the sport may not be what it is today.
Well, we're actually here for the UFC open workouts today. There's 12 different fighters coming in, and there should be 2 UFC signings at the Octagon Nation tour truck. It's going to be a hot one. These guys are the greatest athletes in the world. I mean, they treat their fans with the utmost respect. And I mean, rarely with any other sport can you see guys like this come out and, take the time out of their day to, perform an open workout or autograph signing or things of that nature. So the way that they treat their fans is just incredible.
Some people just don't get it, and they probably won't get it. I think you just gotta almost crave the violence a little bit. I don't know what other way to put it, really.
I've actually taken the whole week off just to see the whole everything, experience the whole fight week itself. So I'm prepared to stand in any type of weather for this stuff for sure.
Styles make fights. If you've got 2 wrestlers, more often than not, it normally ends up in a pretty entertaining boxing fight. If you've got a jiu-jitsu guy against a striker, a lot of times it can be all right. Sometimes the jiu-jitsu guy doesn't really engage as much, but sometimes they go to town and really try and swing for the fences. So styles make fights, like they make interesting fights.
I came out to support my favorite fighter, Nick Ring. I don't like the blood, but I like the skill that it takes for the fighters that they use, yeah. It's raw and it's real. I think that's what I like about the best.
So you're getting a bunch of autographs. Who have you got so far?
Henderson Barrow. I got, who else?
Chris
oh my God, yeah, Chris Jimenez.
McGee.
Man, you're going on. He's answering the questions for
We're
it.
waiting for Faber.
Yeah, man, we're waiting
California
for Faber.
kid.
It's a ton of training goes into this, so it's kind of cool to see it all come down and how the hard work pays off. Because there's a lot of stuff going on that people aren't able to see unless you actually train it. So being able to understand what's going on makes it a lot more exciting too. So.
You gotta do me one favor, like, you ready to go shirt nation on there?
Right.
On ball. Shirt nation.
It is.
It's not a bad way to spend your time off.
Nope, it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, like it better, right?
Couldn't get any better.
Since Calgary is home to fighter Nick Ring, anticipation was quickly building for his fight against Court McGee.
When it comes to competition, you got to go in and kick the other guy's ass, period. That's what I got to do. July 21st, I got to come in and I got to kick his ass. That's what I signed to do. I got fans everywhere, man, and he's got fans all over the place, and so you got to come on his home turf and you got to come to win. He was the #1 pick on the show. He was picked to win the show, and I was the second to last pick, and I went up against him first, so I ended up getting matched up with him, and I don't feel like I lost the fight. I feel like I won one of the rounds, and the other round was really close, so it should have went to the 3rd round, and now we get the rematch. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Dana White's famous quote. It's the truth, man. I'm coming out to finish him. I think me and Nick are the only ones that didn't get changed on the whole entire card. And you kind of sit back and think, oh shit, man, am I next? Am I going to break something? And you get injured because you're trying to push it to come out. If you don't train and you show up, what's your fight? You're going to gas out a couple minutes into the fight, and then what are people going to say? Man, we don't want to see that guy. We're out of here. You know what I mean?
Nick said that he's seeing this as the actual tough finale, that the winner of your fight actually can be crowned champ. Are you going to hand over your plaque to him?
No.
Should he beat you?
No, absolutely not. June 19th, I won. I won the Ultimate Fighter. Nobody can take that from me. I'm always going to be the Ultimate Fighter champion. But that doesn't give me any less fuel to want to kick your ass for saying something like that,
It is hard to
it's hard to balance out like media stuff and then normal life stuff, everyday stuff, and then fit your training in, you know, on top of that. I mean, the thing you got to realize about being an athlete is the training is the most important part of your day.
Put your hands together and let's welcome Calgary native and champion breeding owner, Nick.
The UFC is the Olympics of my sport. Technically, it's no different than any other MMA fight. You know, you go in there, the cage door closes, and you know you need the same skills. It's just the level of refinement of the fighters, the level of organization of the UFC itself. That's what's different. You got to make sure that you're staying focused on what the important thing is, and that's about putting the hours in on the mat and hitting the gym and doing all that stuff, planning your meals, doing all that boring athlete stuff. My opponent is Court McGee. I fought him on Ultimate Fighter Season 11. I squeaked out a victory against him on the show, and this is our second match. You know what? It's 2 years down the road. We've both got very different skill sets. You know, I think we're both more refined fighters, and it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot more exciting, I think, than the first match.
Wait, one more. Hold on.
No, wait, one more. If you were to talk to me 2 years ago, before I was on Ultimate Fighter show, I was just an anonymous martial artist.
She won't harm anybody.
Put myself into little tournaments, and I would take MMA fights, and you know, here fast forward a couple of years, and yeah, like I mean, I'm well recognized. It's a great feeling.
I want a rematch.
I'm happy. It's a lot better than not getting recognized for what you do. I'll tell you that.
Mitch Clark and Hector Lombard may be two names that you're not too familiar with yet, but with hype and promise behind them, we decided to talk to them.
I get to hold this?
Would you like to?
Yeah? Yeah, I do. Awesome.
Is that the best part of fight week so far?
Yes, but it won't be. Best part of fight week's gonna be after weigh-ins.
I don't know what it is, but it doesn't like you.
It's a bad day.
Now fight week's ruined.
You ruined fight week. Went down to Arizona and I trained at the MMA lab with Benson Henderson. He motivates you every day. He's the lightweight champ, and you know he's a talented individual, and he wants you to get 1% better every day. So you have to work to get that 1%. I'm kind of not necessarily a dark horse. Most people don't know me. I don't look like a fighter. I look like I'm supposed to fix your computer. You feel like such a small fish in a big ocean when you're in the UFC. It's the big leagues, right? And it's hard to not get swallowed up by the moment. And I think the big thing is my confidence is way up, and I got to train with the best guy in my division. And if you can hang with him, then what's this guy gonna do to me? I don't want my kids to Google me when they're older and to say I cut corners, to not do what I needed to do to be successful at something I chose to do as a career. And that's the biggest thing that's changed in my life. This is exactly what MMA in Alberta needs, is more publicity. I think that Alberta is a hub for MMA, and most of the rest of Canada doesn't know it. Everyone thinks it's Montreal, but I think it's here. I think Alberta has some of the best fans, and I think this is going to be a great experience for the fans and for the fighters. I'm really looking forward to fighting. I feel good. I kept a couple secrets, but I got to show some cool stuff. Hopefully people liked the workout.
I know a lot of the names that people maybe don't know that are on the card, like Hector Lombard. A lot of people don't know him. It's his first fight here, but I've been watching him for years now, and it's pretty. I was really excited when I heard he was on the card.
Hector, there's so much talk about whether or not you're ready for a title fight in the UFC, or whether or not you deserve a title fight in the UFC yet. How are you feeling about that?
Don't matter to me. It's a lot of talk all the time, so I'll focus on my career, and I'm not focus about all that negative stuff.
You've had a lot of hype around you. There's been a lot of changes made to this card. Do you feel like you've had enough time to prepare for both?
Look, no time. It's no time right now to make excuses. And if you have a time, or if you didn't have a time, you know, it don't matter. I'm gonna go Saturday, and I'm gonna fight. And I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna win. That's what matters. If you would be in my shoes right now, what would be your?
Oh,
you know,
probably
go to the top, right?
I would go with the one fight at a time attitude.
Right. So, you know, like, think about it.
Yeah.
But by the same token, how do you think you would match up with somebody like Anderson Silva?
I don't want to talk about Anderson Silva.
You know, there's so many people that are afraid, oh, don't get in there with Hector Lombard. You don't want to fight Hector Lombard.
There's a lot of people, as you know, that talk a lot, but they don't put up, you know? I have to give respect to Tim Bosch. Just shut up and put up. People like you when you success. You know, when you're winning. People don't like you when you're losing. So I'm focused on winning.
Due to injuries, the main event was changed so many times it was hard to keep track of. But when it was finally figured out, we caught up to the two guys headlining the event.
It's cool. I guess this is the first fight in Calgary for the UFC, and that's really cool. You know, it's been a crazy road here, ups and downs throughout this whole training camp, and with the different events and everything. And you know, there's one thing that's true: Canadians love their MMA, and I'm glad to be here to put on a show. I don't know how long it's been. I think 8 months. I've had longer layoffs than that. It's never been an issue. It's not like I'm like Raging Bull. I don't go out there and put on 50 pounds. I mean, I do the same thing all the time, so there won't be any ring rust for me. Barao is someone who's very tough. I feel like because he hasn't really been challenged completely, we don't know where he's at. Maybe he's the world champion. Maybe I'm the world champion. Maybe Dominic is. We're gonna find out. Even if he hasn't fought guys that are my caliber, or you know, the amount of guys, you know, he's taking care of all the business they needed to. That I heard it's an 18-fight win streak.
18 fight win. I think it's 29 without a loss.
Yeah, he had a no contest and a couple other things, but nonetheless, I don't give a crap. Period. Any other questions?
You're the favorite in this fight. Does that any added pressure to you going into this? I mean, this is a main event fight. It's 5 rounds. Any pressure?
Tem vários ali na luta ali, né? Tem que ficar bem esperto. There could be various situations. I mean, he's very powerful, strong, but I'm well prepared and ready for the fight. Isso foi fruto de muito trabalho, né? E graças a Deus eu tô cada vez treinando mais, tentando me aprimorar mais ainda. The winning streak is a result of my work, a hard time in the gym, and it's not gonna come to an end. Tô muito feliz por ter tendo essa oportunidade aí de poder mostrar meu trabalho mais uma vez. He's very happy right now. His time has come. He hopes one day he becomes as famous as Faber, as Dominic Cruz. He'll get there. So he's just, you know, taking his time now.
Learn more when you're losing?
Você não acha que você também aprende mais quando tá perdendo? Não, perder não, cara. Minha primeira luta. His first fight was a loss. He lost in the first fight, but after that, he just won, and he doesn't want to lose. So he's still learning from his victories. But of course, no, you have to. If you lose one day, you have to take some lessons for the loss.
A few days before the fight, a fan expo and weigh-ins took place. Here, fans were able to ask questions to fighter Mike Bisbane. Get a load of this guy.
One of the good things about the UFC is that they really do care about their fans, so they put on events like this where they get a fighter to come out and answer questions from the fans.
What's up, Calgary? How we doing? All right, let's get right into it. Questions. I'm assuming you have some.
Right over here.
Right here.
I was wondering, what was it like filming The Ultimate Fighter, dealing with Mayhem Miller, and then ultimately embarrassing him in your fight?
Thank you. Yeah, as the show went on, he continued to get in my face and get physical with me. You know, he pushed me a couple of times. He squirted water in my face. I never do things like that. It's disgusting behaviour, squirting water in people's face. Who would do that? I'll keep it all bottled up, and come the 4th of December, you're in for an ass kicking. And that was one of the most satisfying beatings I've ever given somebody. Thanks. Next.
For Bisping, how long it took him to eat solid food after the Dan Henderson fight.
Yes.
I was just wondering, what were you thinking just before Henderson's fist hit you on the chin there?
Somebody had to bring it up. Hey, listen, bro. When you're checking in or clocking in at work tomorrow and you're waiting for the hours to pass, you know, I'll still be up here doing this. You know, when you're picking up your paycheck for $120 a week, you know, I'll be flying first class, son.
We're just trying to think of them now, actually. I don't want to insult him because he might run up here and beat our butts, but yeah, no, I'm sure we'll come up with something. The microphone's right here, so.
Was it the classiest move? No. Did I deserve it? Maybe. You know? So, you know, fair play to the guy.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure. And to be honest, I didn't feel a goddamn thing. So, I didn't feel a thing. I didn't feel a thing until I woke up in the hospital. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm supposed to be fighting. They're like, Michael, you have fought and you lost. I'm like, no, come on.
You kind of feel a camaraderie with the fighters. You get to know them a little bit, see a personal side, see them come out here. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty universally hated in the UFC, so I don't hang around with too many people from here.
We're here for Bisping. Yeah. I'm here for Mitch Clark from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Well, he's a great guy, and that kind of work ethic that he has that makes him a good person is the same thing that's going to make him a great mixed martial arts fighter. He is sort of unassuming in person, but he's a totally different character in the cage, and I think he's going to do great on Saturday night.
Powerful Ghostbusters underwear. First fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen, Mitch Clark and Anton Kuivanen.
The weigh-ins it's like kind of the start of the weekend, you know? It gets you all jacked up to see the fighters.
Next up in the middleweight division, Court McGee versus Nick Ring.
I think Nick Ring, Court McGee should be a pretty good one. They had a fight on the Ultimate Fighter that kind of didn't get really resolved because Ring got injured, so it should be a good one.
For Mr. Ring!
We're from out of town, from about 6 hours away, so we just drove up today, took the day off work just to come see this.
And his opponent, the winner of the Ultimate Fighter, Court the Crusher McGee!
I like them all. I love the fact that it's a violent chess game.
185.5 for Mr. McGee! Nick Ring and Court McGee, ladies and gentlemen, let them know!
I'm gonna see the weigh-ins. Enjoy the day. Enjoy my birthday, actually.
186 for the Barbarian! And his opponent, please welcome to the UFC, Hector Lombard!
I'm really curious about Lombard in both. I want to see what Lombard does on the big stage. If he has the octagon jitters, or if he's going to come out and dominate like everybody wants him to. Because both is going to be a tough fight.
$185.5 for Mr. Lombard! Hector Lombard and Tim Bosch, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, the main event of the evening. Give it up for Renan Barão.
Looking forward to Faber and Barrow.
135 for
stoked to see the fights, and hopefully they're good.
Can't wait to see it. Uriah Faber, ladies and gentlemen, and Hannah Burrell tomorrow night. An outstanding card.
As anticipation before the fights quickly grew, we took the opportunity to talk to a few more UFC fanatics.
Some people don't like the, the men rumbling tumbling on the floor, but they don't get the concept of the MMA part,
I'm Christian Babick, the older brother. John Babick, the middle brother.
I'm Jordan Babick, youngest brother.
And Mom wants to say Barrero's gonna win, but Faber's got it in the books for sure.
Oh yeah.
Faber. Go Faber.
This is the culmination of the whole week, where we've been doing this for the whole week and following everybody and going to as many events as possible, and this is what it's all leading up to, and I'm really pumped for it.
I think there's so much passion involved in this sport. It's tough not to get excited about it. I went to a card in Vegas last year, took my best friend with me, who had zero interest, and by the end of the night, she was jumping up and cheering and screaming just as much as I was.
There is violence in it, but it's a lot more entertaining than, say, wrestling or anything like that. So I find it more entertaining.
I see lots of people that don't take martial arts that just love UFC, and they just love the action and the intensity of the fights. Everything. It's awesome.
Nick.
Oh, Nick for sure. Of course. He's there all the way. Don't even have to say anything else.
McGee.
You're the first McGee.
For real? I like to be different then, yeah.
It's just the guts that it takes to get in the ring and to square up with somebody else is awesome.
You have to experience it live. It's awesome. Incredible. And they're all approachable. From Dana White down to the last person you're talking to. Awesome guys.
Fighting out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Mitch Danger Zone Clark.
Obviously, you look like you're in a lot of pain. What hurts the most right now?
My heart. No, other than that, probably my knee. First 10 seconds, I went to block and knee block, and he went just above my knee, and I could feel my knee pop. Doctor says I gotta go get an MRI on my LCL. When I went to go shoot or push off, knee wasn't really responding. That's why I was able to, I think, hit that switch so easy. Things happen in fights you can't really, plan for. I didn't exactly plan to blow my knee out. So, I tried from bell to bell. When I grabbed that arm lock, that first arm lock in the first round, thought I had it sunk. I felt his arm pop, but I gotta give to Anton. He pushed through that, and I guess I need to push harder through my knee. Hopefully they have me back, but if they don't, I understand. Sorry, guys. Thanks.
Fight night is now in full swing, so we went out and talked to more fans during the event. We also found out how Calgary's own Nick Ring did.
The environment, the fights, everything, awesome.
First time in Alberta. It's really
Alberta,
cool.
first time, probably won't happen for a long time. For sure.
Just like the atmosphere, like watching the fighters. Been to Vegas, watched it before, and it's hometown, so got to show up. I just wish I was a little younger and would have started fighting at a younger age, but I think I'm past my prime now. So I guess living the dream.
What's up, man?
his home, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and has for years. Nick, the Promise Ring, 12-1.
Have you looked in the mirror?
I'm looking good, I know. He was on me like a big ape, wasn't he? So it was very tough to get through that round 3. You know, he was definitely going for it. He's going for a KO. I thought that I, you know, very slightly had a round 1 and 2, but you never know in those kind of things. When you leave it to the judges, you know, anything can happen. I remember when I broke his nose. I thought that was a good time to, you know, put some of the pressure on, right? If anything, he's just gotten stronger, you know, more pig-headed, more, you know, I guess more aggressive. You know, his hands are definitely a lot stronger than back when we fought on The Ultimate Fighter.
They're going at it, Joe. They certainly are. Good kick to the body there by Nick Ring.
The crowd has been incredible here in Calgary. I couldn't have done it without them. And without all the support that I've gotten, it wouldn't have been able to happen.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Nick the Promise Ring!
Nick Ring earns the unanimous decision victory.
It was quite evident that fans were not pleased as boos rang out during the main event fights. Post-fight, Dana White talked to awaiting media, and Dana doesn't pull any punches.
Well, before I get too negative, I think that the undercard was awesome. These guys blew it out of the water. We broke the gate record here tonight, and I'm embarrassed by it. I was excited when I heard, and now I'm embarrassed. The undercard delivered. They were awesome. The main card did not. Well, I think you look at a guy like Lombard, you know, comes in on a 25-fight win streak, you know, and the fight was horrible.
The game plan was to not stand in Hector's power range, and I wanted to use my kicks to keep him off me, and that's what I was doing. And then early in the second round, I blew up my foot, which made the rest of the fight a little bit more uncomfortable than I had anticipated.
Bosch won the fight, and I think he's got a broken foot right now anyway, which is, oh, of course he does, right? It would be weird if he didn't. No more questions? That would be great. I will fly back to Las Vegas right now.
Are you coming back?
Yeah, we'll be back. Listen, we're gonna have bad fights. I'm not happy that we had a bad fight tonight. It's not Calgary's problem. It's me and my boys.
I want you guys to do a clean fight, follow my orders at all time. Touch gloves. One palute.
You know, I fought a guy who's on a huge win streak, you know, the biggest win streak in active MMA right now, which is impressive, and wasn't able to get it done. I don't ever want to be in a fight where people are booing, but, you know, just had to do my best out there tonight, and you know, Brau fought a smart fight. He's really good with his length. He was able to keep me at bay and fight a smart fight.
So if you were booing that fight, you know, you came here to see lions in the cage or something. I don't know what you know, guy versus the dragon or something.
It's usual in Calgary for us to see lions in a cage, I guess.
Tô muito feliz, né, que isso foi sonho que, graças a Deus, consegui realizar hoje. I'm very happy. Faber is a great athlete, is a great human being. Now I want to thank him for inviting me for speaking out my name to fight against him. And in addition to that, now I'm just very happy. E é isso. Tô muito feliz.
I've been in this city since Wednesday. Interacted with tons of fans. You know how many people have asked me for the money back since I've been here? 0. Nobody's asked me for my money back. Nobody's asked, you know, that's a bunch of internet bullshit. The day the internet starts telling me what's wrong and what's this and that, I might as well wrap it up. And I love bringing you great cards, and I love blowing the doors off places. We kind of did it this time, but not really. We'll be back and we'll make it up to you, I promise. Thank you.
When the UFC does return to Calgary, hopefully fans will have a little more to cheer about. Thanks for watching. I'm Lindy Free.